Okay, let's get started here. Good evening. I'd like to welcome everybody to the Economic Community Development Committee meeting. Today is Monday, January 9th. So we are going to get started. We got 5 items on our agenda, plus the 6th being adjournment. We're going to ask Rhonda, roll call, please.
Council President Boyce.
Here.
For Chair Troutner, obviously, and Councilmember Marley Lerner.
Here.
Councilmember Zambia Bishop.
Here.
All righty. Thank you, Rhonda. Kirk, any changes to the agenda today?
No changes.
Thank you. Okay, we're going to move on to item number 3. I'm going to ask for a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, moving to second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Let the record show unanimous pass. Move on to item number 4, business. We got approval of the minutes. I'm going to ask for a motion for approval of the minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion? Seeing none. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Let the record show unanimous pass. Move on to item number 5, action items coming up. We have Michelle Wilmot here, and we're going to talk a little about LTAC today. So, Michelle, I'm going to turn it over to you, please.
Thank you, Councilmember Boyce. Good afternoon, council members. Michelle Wilmot, Economic and Community Development. I am also staff to Kent's Lodging Tax Advisory Committee, which is a group of individuals who help determine how we allocate lodging tax funds that are collected by the city, which are generated by a 1% sales tax on overnight stays in Kent hotels. Before you is a proposal from JRAY, which is an advertising and marketing agency that has been working with Kent for a number of years on our Visit Kent tourism and promotion campaign. They have established our visitkent.com website, so I encourage you all to look at that if you haven't. And they also manage our social media accounts, both in Facebook and Instagram. You can imagine over the last few years with the pandemic, we have had a significant reduction in the budget available to get services from JRAY. However, they agreed to continue working with us on a much reduced amount over the last few years. And thankfully, things are turning around a little bit as far as revenues coming into our lodging tax fund. And in our meeting with the committee here in November, the group heard a proposal from JRAY, and the committee is recommending that you approve an expenditure of $111,000 for their regular tourism promotion campaign. And I'll just run through these quickly. But JRAY, what they do is they maintain all of this website content for us, but they do work with our community partners. They are in regular touch with the Thunderbirds. They're in regular touch with the city, both the mayor's office and our parks departments and public works departments. They are in touch with, if I didn't say it already, Kent Station, the Thunderbirds, the Chamber, the Kent Downtown Partnership. They're regularly trying to coordinate content that gets placed on the site, especially when it comes to our events calendars. And you can imagine that's a lot of activity to track and make sure that that is included on the Visit Kent website. They also do media relations work for us, in which they pitch media stories so we can get media coverage for the city. And up on this dashboard up on the screen, you'll see that we have some news stories that we've garnered, where it is earned media, where it means we've gotten news stories that didn't require us to pay anything for it. And the value of that is sometimes seen as even more valuable than actually paid media. They also work with us on all of our social media content, including quarterly blogs, which are then posted onto our website as well. The marketing services is probably one of the biggest changes you'll see this year. Before the meeting started, we were briefly discussing a geolocation marketing campaign, which is something very new to us. This is a component of our marketing efforts that was started last year. with a company called Datify. And what Datify does is it tracks the activities of visitors from over 50 miles away. We can determine and set the distance of the information that we want to track. And given the goals from the state legislature and the RCWs, these dollars are meant to track people from outside of our community at least 50 miles away, so this is a perfect baseline for us. It uses technology that is embedded in all of our cell phones, and if we designate a location in Kent per se, like Shower Center or a hotel or Kent Station or even a restaurant downtown, we then, if the person who has this phone has not turned off their tracking abilities, which is possible, we are able to see if this person has come from outside of 50 miles away, if they visited Shower Center, if they went to a restaurant in downtown Kent, and if they stayed overnight at a Kent hotel. These are out of the 231 different locations that we have geo-fenced, if you will. It's just it's a location on a map where we have said we want to track the activity at these locations. So what you can see on this measurement dashboard for the first time since I've been working with this group is we can actually see the number of trip visits and an approximate value of those visitors and what they bring to Kent as far as the revenue generated in a hotel and the revenue generated due to their spending at restaurants and the like. So we use a state industry standard. This is from the Washington State Travel Impacts Research Program. What an average overnight hotel stay, the cost we use is $130 a night. That could be low depending on the time of year and season. Then also a daily spend of $121. These are just averages that are based on industry standards. So looking at that and then looking at the geolocation number of visits, you can see we have 6,199 overnight stays we were able to track using this Datify tool. Looking at that and the spend plus the value of the other advertising impressions that we have calculated, you can see an approximate return on the investment of our lodging tax funds of just shy of $3 million for 2022, which is a great return on investment from a marketing standpoint, considering J-Ray was operating on a very reduced budget in this last year. So the proposal looking ahead for 2023 is to continue using this Datify tool, because what we can also do with this is create lookalike campaigns. We can look back over the several years to see, okay, what generated a lot of overnight stays? Was it a particular kind of concert, or was it a particular type of event? I know the Kent Downtown Partnership is doing some different events now with the Cajun Festival and the Nerd Party and what have you, so we can start to track if these sorts of activities bring overnight stays to our community. So definitely looking to include Datify, a subscription to that annually in their proposal for this year. Also, as part of the reduction of services from J-Ray, they really had to scale back on the media pitching, which is using regular established communications with media and travel writers. Those are very time-consuming activities, and J-Ray was only able to really pursue that a couple of different times last year, where they were really tying that in with some of our Datify campaigns. They are proposing to elevate the amount of media pitch stories to 1 a month, if not 2 a month, looking forward into 2023. The other piece of the work that J-Ray does for us is regular marketing. In fact, they're buying advertising and what have you as well. Advertising online and advertising in some print publications. The advertising online, especially when we're using this Datify technology, is very interesting and valuable too, where we can see if there is any correlation between the ad placement and if it showed up on somebody's phone, and then track where these people have ventured in their time here. It's important to note that we don't know anybody's names. We don't know any personal identifiable information about these individuals, but just making sure that you're clear on that. But it is a tool that is new to us, but it is not new to industry. If you ever do any of your own travels and all of a sudden you see ads for something that you might have Googled previously, it's the same sort of technology that's being used here. J-Ray built our Visit Kent website, which includes our events calendar, our hotels, restaurants. We have a direct plug-in to TripAdvisor, so people can check out reviews, and that way we don't have to be the arbiters of the reviews that people, and then the types of content or recommendations for restaurants and hotels. We can allow people to sift through the reviews that they see. So we have a direct plug-in that way. But it also includes direct ability to book hotels, which our hoteliers really appreciate, and other information and activities as far as events and what have you that are available to do here in Kent while people are in town. The website is about 7 years old, and it is in need of a refresh. Besides the typical refreshes that are needed, what J-Ray is proposing to do now is make sure that it is accessible for people who have disabilities. I know that is a rule that is in place now for our own social media and web pages here. So they are going to make sure that they really scrub that and make certain that all of the content on the site is accessible by people with disabilities. With that, I'm happy to go through lots more of the results. I can share with you the entire report if you'd like. This is a real summary, though, of the results that J-Ray has garnered for us, and I wanted just to draw your attention to that. We are upping or at least hoping to increase the amount of money that we can provide to them so they can bring in even higher results than what we're seeing here.
Thanks, Michelle. By being a member of the larger task, we have a great relationship with J-Ray. I mean, I don't know what, 6, 7, 8 years we've been with them, and really just where we started and where we're at. I mean, really a good working relationship. And our hotelers, they have strong opinion, right? So they strongly voice their opinion. I mean, they really focus on heads in bed, right? That's their little theme, right? But great relationship. We met in November and worked through some things and some requests and so on. Also say J-Ray, even though we spent less money during COVID, there's some things they continue to do on their own just to make sure that, everything is up to par. So great organization, great relation with the team, and it's really going extremely well. So I'm really looking forward to the website. Marla, as you know, from a technology perspective, 7 years is kind of old for a website, right? So I'm looking forward to the updates and enhancement to the website as well, too. So with that said, I don't know, Marley, if you have any questions, we'll start with you, then I go to Xandra Nets. Any thoughts, concerns?
I am curious, in the website redesign, and this may not be a question for like this specific scope of work, but I think something we've talked about before, and if it's not happening this time, I definitely would like to talk about it next contract. And it's more integration with the actual Kent City site. Because I think people still go to, if you think of calendar of events of what's going on in the community, I think you still probably by default, by nature, go to kentwa.gov, and I noticed there's, some things that are not on our city calendar. So there is a way to integrate calendars, and, I'd like to see more integration between those two.
If there is a way, I would love to know what that is, because it's something that I've talked with our communications team about. So yes, I would love to see that as well. And if there was a way to do that where everything's just sort of married up without having to actually duplicate the effort, that would be a bonus.
Okay.
So
Let's take it offline because I think
Okay.
there is.
Yeah, that'd be great. More, that's a good example, right? Because we like to have a one-stop shop would be nice. right?
Exactly,
Go to
yeah.
one place.
Yep.
So please share that with Michelle. I'm assuming J-Ray, they'll be all over this year.
Yeah.
It'll be easy for them as well, too. So thank you, Marley. Anything else?
No,
Okay.
my other questions were answered, so thank you.
Councilmember Michelle, thoughts, questions, concern?
Yes, thank you, Chair. Michelle, I just want to thank you for the presentation and doing such a great job of explaining the geolocation in simple terms. No, my questions were answered. It was really about the analytics and how well things were going. So,
Yeah.
thank you. Yeah, looks good.
Great.
Would you ladies like to make a motion for me, please?
Mr. Chair, I recommend to council approval of a lodging tax grant to the Economic and Community Development Department in the amount of $133,500 to be used for contracting with J-Ray to maintain the Visit Kent Tourism Promotion Program and web media presence, and authorize the mayor to execute a contract with J-Ray subject to final terms and conditions acceptable to the city attorney.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Let the record show unanimous pass. Thank you, Michelle. Let's move on to 5B, and this is around appointment to the Lodging Tax Advisory Committee. Michelle.
Yes, thank you, Councilmember. We had some expiration of terms from our Lodging Tax Committee, and our committee, I think, is a bit different than some of the other committees here at the city. For one, we are mandated to have an equal number of representation between those individuals that are able to utilize our lodging tax funds and those who actually contribute the funds to the lodging tax account. So this means we need to have equal number of hoteliers who are contributing that 1% revenue to our fund, and then those groups that are eligible to apply for grants to be able to utilize funds for marketing and tourism purposes. David Kwok is the owner of the Hampton Inn here in Kent on 212. He has been a long-time Lodging Tax Committee member and a very experienced hotelier given the number of hotels he has around our region. He has served on our Lodging Tax Committee since 2010, and he is one who is very, very much concerned about making sure that the dollars that that the committee is recommending that the council allocate, that there is definitely a return on investment to make sure that people are staying overnight here in Kent.
You say concern, I would say vocal.
Yes, what he said. Anyway, recruiting hoteliers to serve on this committee is very difficult because A, we just don't have that many hotels here in Kent, and two, even though we don't meet on a monthly basis, we meet pretty intensely about twice a year while we are in our grant review process. Just getting hoteliers to be able to apply and to join our committee is really difficult. David has an interest in continuing to work with us. I have left on our website open for years that we've had openings for hoteliers to serve on our committee. And I have actually gone to hotels here in Kent and introduced myself to people and checked out the hotels and tried to meet the GMs there to invite potential interest in serving on the committee. My latest endeavor was trying to work with the Comfort Inn over on Central, and we thought we had somebody, but they, after working with their ownership, declined the opportunity. So with this, we need to have David, if you all agree, we need to have him stay on if we can in order to keep at least a couple of hoteliers on our committee. Our committee consists of eight people, and then with Councilmember Boyce as our chair. So we still are short for two other hoteliers to join the committee. with David staying on.
I think we'll just keep in mind, we will continue to recruit hotelers, because we do have the 2 open spots and so on, but hopefully we'll find somebody. I think the person you had earlier was almost a gold, and I think before new work and everything, she thought it was too much.
Actually, the gal that the council last approved, she had just come on the committee, and then she was transferred down to California.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then the next, that same hotel was that is the, what is it? It's a Hometown Suites by Marriott or something up by the hospital. The ownership of that transferred. So there's been a lot of shifting people. So that also makes it harder to recruit. But yes, Councilmember Boyce is right and correct. I continue to keep my eyes open for people that would be willing to work with us on this. The second person is Tim Higgins. He has also served on the Lodging Tax Committee since 2010. And while he is not a hotelier, his facility is absolutely a driver of economic activity and revenue, given the number of events. And in some of the work that I do, as far as recruiting business events, I need to work very closely with ShoWare Center on ensuring that those business events are held, that we can do them there. I'm in very regular contact with him on using lodging tax funds for business events that we are recruiting to come to Kent, because some of these individuals have never held business events here. And I think there was, at least pre-COVID, we had a year where we really pushed hard to bring business events here. And some of those organizations continue to bring events here even without lodging tax grants. So that has been a really great outcome of that. So working with one of our big venues really helps having ShoWare's representation on our committee. So Tim is very much interested in staying on the committee and working with us to make certain that we can keep bringing more and more people here. We coordinate on our marketing activities too. He and Kelly Spritzer, their marketing staff over there, I'm in very regular contact with them on really coordinating our activities to get the biggest value out of that. So for that reason, we'd love to see Tim stay on the committee as well. And finally, there is a new person that I was able to convince to join our group. He's actually very excited. I didn't have to convince him. I met the new facilities director of Green River College here at Kent Station. His name is Burl Battersby. He is new to our area, and he brings with him over 20 years of hotel management experience. So figuring that it's been so difficult to recruit hoteliers, I thought this was a perfect win to bring somebody in to serve in a non-hotel position but still have that hotel experience. Our 2 hoteliers on the committee currently have expressed sometimes concern that they felt outnumbered by those that are using the money as opposed to those that contribute. So this way it keeps it pretty even for us. So Burl Battersby is a new applicant to the committee, and he actually came and met everybody at our last meeting, and I think he's going to be a great fit.
Definitely going to be a good add-on. He's already jumping into the swing of things already, so it'll be a big plus to us. Councilmember Michaud, any questions? Councilmember Lummer?
Nope, no questions.
Would you like to make a motion, Councilmember Lummer,
would.
please?
Chair, I recommend to council the reappointments of David Wack and Tim Higgins to the new appointment of Burl Battersby to the Lodging Tax Advisory Committee for 3-year terms effective January 17th, 2023 through January 16th, 2026.
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Let the record show 3-0. Councilmember Lummer, anything for the good of the order?
Nothing from me.
Councilmember Michaud?
Nope.
We are adjourned.
Thank you for your support.
Thank you, guys.